My name is Joshua St. Germain. I'll be doing the SCiO Pocket Molecular Sensor for my second tech talk. So what is it? It's a portable infrared scanner that fits into your pocket and connects to your phone. So what it does is you can scan any object and get the chemical composition of that object. So there's things, you can scan an apple and you can figure out how many calories are in it, scan a piece of metal, figure out what metal's in it, scan practically anything. There's a lot of things in their database that they tested it on and it works. So it's very robust. Although it's small and mobile, it has the performance of traditional lab spectrometers. So this provides very accurate reading at a very cheaper price point than a lab spectrometer, and it doesn't require all the lab testing or bringing an object to the lab and running through it like you normally would. You can just do it from your pocket on your phone and do it very quickly. Like I said earlier, there's a mobile app that connects to your phone and gives feedback and all other information from it. So this is how it works. At the base level, it measures the absorption of infrared light. So the scanner sends out an infrared light. However much comes back or how much is absorbed, that's how they test like whatever chemicals in it or whatever it's made out of. It is then sent to the phone, which goes to the cloud. And on the cloud, as you see in that picture, there's a materials database and models. So the database is all the materials they have scanned previously, all the materials they have had tested on, and what makes up those materials. What the models do is, according to them, this is what makes it as good as a lab spectrometer, despite the hardware not being as good. Because the algorithms and models are so robust and so well designed that it gives you such an accurate feedback because everything's so well designed and so tested on the model level and at the database level that you can get quick, accurate feedback as good as anything in the lab. And then everything's stored in their data systems, and once that goes through, it comes back on the form of the mobile app. You can see there's graphs, and it gives you a bunch of other information. So calories, sugar, whatever it is. So in terms of uses and impact, there's two main versions. There's a consumer version and then the business version. On the consumer side, we have food analysis, like I've discussed earlier. If you want to find out how many calories are in a hamburger or what it's made out of, you can scan this thing, scan the burger, and then figure out exactly what's in it, how much you're intaking. Another very cool application is pill identification, like I discussed earlier. So if you want to find out what's in a pill, or if you have a pill you don't know, you can scan the pill and it'll tell you exactly what that pill is. Or if you think you have maybe the pill's not good or it's a counterfeit pill, you can actually scan the pill and it'll tell you. Body analysis, they can do things like body weight, BMI, how much fat's in your body, things like that. The business level, they focus on these 5 industries here. We have farmers. So this goes along with food, where you can scan whatever food you're giving to your animals. And on another level, you can scan crops and make sure all your crops are coming back to your standard. And then there's also a manufacturing level. So if you're producing grain and you want to test that grain, you can point the scanner at, use the scanner on that grain, and you'll get back quality data. On the food and beverage side, we've kind of discussed this already, but you can also measure beverages as well. So this can be used in many different ways, manufacturing food or even just as a restaurant level. And you can test the nutrient content of all that food and give you accurate readings. Pharma level, this goes along with pill identification, but this is more in a manufacturing sense. So if you're a pharmacy, if you're in the pharmaceutical industry and you want and you're making all these pills, you want to find out if all those pills are actually being made correctly. So this is very important, and it provides a very easy way to test that all the pills are being made up to standard, up to code, whatever they need. Make sure all their pills are not going to harm anybody or anything like that. Another cool application is automotive and machinery. So if you're a mechanic or if you're building a car and you want to test out how different oils or fluids are in the car, or coolants, things like that, make sure the coolant is all right, you can actually scan it. So instead of eyeballing it or going by past experiences or anything like that, this gives you scientific data that can be used to fix the car or make a new car better or anything like that. It's kind of been mentioned before, but in the manufacturing industry, this is going to be used mainly for quality control, quality assurance. That's how they describe the best use for this. Make sure everything's protected, everything's up to standard, and everything's being made in the correct way. So the consumer edition costs $299. So it's pretty expensive, but I think for what it does, it's fairly reasonable price. And as I kind of mentioned earlier, this is the developmental evaluation toolkit. It's $950. This is what actually allows you to create models, add things to the database. Um, it's more of a customization tool. This is probably more on the business side because as a business, if you have a special product you're making and you want to make sure the product is being made to your standard, you want to create a model that allows you to actually see that your product is being made. Because as robust as this thing is, they don't have every object in the world, they don't have every item, they don't have every pill, they don't have every thing that you can make. So this is probably a business customization tool. Why it's so expensive. Liquid accessory, this is self-explanatory pretty much. This is actually helps you measure liquids, $65, and the educational kit. And here are the references. I think this has a lot of opportunity, especially with how people treat their health nowadays, where everyone wants to measure what they're eating, how healthy they are, what their body weight is, things like that, how much macros they're getting, if they're eating enough protein, even as on a base level, and even for people who have trouble getting those nutrients. On the business side, like I said, I think this has a lot of opportunity in quality assurance, quality testing, and industrial engineering. You can use this at any part of the process and make sure everything's being created in the correct way. And it's so quick and so easy to use. I think this is a much better solution than running things through the lab or running things through a whole process. You can just have a worker just scan whatever they're producing and make sure everything's okay. So I think this is I think as long as the price keeps dropping on this, we could potentially see a lot of this in the future, especially if people still want to remain as healthy as they are, want to watch their weight, want to watch their nutrients. And then in the business side, this is an amazing way to test quality quickly and cheaply.